What do you use to remind yourself that everything isn't that bad? I don't need a wheelchair anymore. Your name wouldn't happen to be John Loke, would it? That comment gave me a smile. With an orange over my teeth. Don't tell me what I can't do amazing. This internet stranger is happy for you. I can die later. The world is going to kill me, whether I like it or not. So why not stick around for a few more decades and see what happens? In some ways it's comforting to know I don't have to do this forever, and I don't have to kill myself. Curiosity and things to look forward to, even TV shows, games, movies, or visits from relatives. I always pick something to look forward to. I've heard that's a really good strategy for people struggling with suicidal thoughts. Pick one or two things that are coming out weeks or months from now. A new game, book, movie, whatever, and remind yourself that you will miss out on that one thing if you go through with it. It's the little things that keep us going, and it's the little things that are often the most important. Used to say this about finding out about how Game of Thrones would end, and now I wish I'd just killed myself. Which is why it pays to not put all your eggs in one basket, especially when those eggs are your life. This comment is honestly life-changing. I've been feeling pretty down and was having suicidal ideation for a few weeks. This is a hopeful perspective, something I've never thought of, but a way I can manage or rearrange those thoughts. Thank you. The universe existed for billions of years before humans, and will be for billions of years after. It's pretty cool that we have eyes and ears to look around and check it out for a while. It's pretty weird to think that this all could have existed without ever being seen by anyone. We are super lucky it was us that get to check it out. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Carl Sagan. I'm not religious per se, but for some reason, when I first heard this sentence it had a profound impact on me. We exist in this pocket of time for a short while, and are quite possibly the only beings intelligent enough to explore the mysteries of the cosmos. So we as humans were birthed from it by chance, and when we all move on so will our collective knowledge, and the universe may never know itself this well again. It's beautiful and makes me realize how important it is to stay curious and not get caught up in the stresses of life. To ignore your curiosity is an injustice to the stardust you're made of. I try to remember that we are all just making it up as we go along. Biggest realization for me as an adult was when I learned nobody actually knows what they are doing. Just their best. I just realized this not too long ago, and it was the most liberating thing to know that everyone is flying, just as blind as I am, with respect to experiences of course. The real challenge is making it look like you know what you're doing. Projecting confidence while you're just winging it is an art. Just heard from a mumbo jumbo Minecraft YouTuber stream. If someone says they know what they're doing, get away from them. Laughs. They're probably a cult leader or something. You're not wrong there. Nobody really knows what they're doing. I think about the fact that all things considered I am reasonably healthy, and there's no warrant out for my arrest. I heard a guest on the Joe Rogan podcast say a healthy person wants a million things. A sick person just wants one thing. I use this all the time. I was diagnosed with leukemia a month ago. Can confirm I just want normalcy again. So true. As bad as things may seem, I have certain people in my life I couldn't live without. As long as they are okay, I ultimately don't care about anything else. It's like that old ranking system trick. They ask you to rank your problem on a scale of 1 to 10. It's a shitty problem, so the person ranks it at like an 8. Then the questioner says a level 10 ranking is equivalent to your house burning down, and you are the only one to escape. The original problem no longer seems like a level 8. In psychology it is called reframing. Very useful exercise for anxiety. I had a stroke a couple of weeks ago, only 27 and no health explanation for the event, and while I was in the hospital walking down the hall with my good old buddy Winston, what I named my fourth drip machine pumping me with blood thinner. An older gentleman across the hall saw me and told his nurse I was far too young to be in the ICU. He had a little plastic pumpkin for Halloween and not much else, so he asked the nurse to give it to me. I never found out which patient gave me that pumpkin, but since the stroke, whenever things get stressful I look at it, now sitting on my desk at work, and remember that everything is okay. I plan on keeping my little plastic stroke pumpkin for the rest of my life, however long or short it may be. Edit. Never thought I would have to be *THAT* girl, but this got way more attention than I had ever expected. I'm going to be driving home soon from work and I'm still working on replying to all of the comments here. I just wanted to thank all of you for taking the time to show a little support. It really does mean something to me, and it is oddly comforting having so many absolute strangers take a moment to relate/offer encouragement. And of course, for those who decided me and my stroke pumpkin were worthy of actual currency, thank you very much for the awards. I'm happy my experience could make an impression on someone else's day. I hope you make a full recovery. Thanks. I'm doing well all things considered, and I'm grateful to have bounced back so quickly. The whole experience was really sort of surreal. Do you mind sharing what the stroke felt like? Did you or the people around you recognize it as such, or only in the hospital? I have no qualms about sharing. Still a bit mildly fascinated myself, to be honest, in regards to the whole ordeal. I was at work, and it was a very typical Friday morning. I hadn't been sleeping much recently due to some neck/shoulder pain, previous small injury that didn't heal, plus bad gaming posture habits, but it had actually started to let up, so I was in pretty good spirits. I work doing at help desk, so I was at my desk and on a call with a user when my vision started to get kind of fuzzed out on the right side. I tried rubbing my eye, but realized that both eyes were fuzzing in the same spot and the spot was growing. I finished the call while joking with the user about me not being able to see what I was typing, but I was starting to get a bit concerned. I joked to my coworker that I needed a break because I was having a stroke or something, lol, and then tried to look down at my hands on my keyboard and realized no matter how hard I tried, I could only see one of them and the other was just not there. I felt alright still, but a little panicky, which I attributed to the vision loss, and tried to take a sip of coffee. I was looking at my coffee on the desk and grabbed a cup and brought it to my mouth thinking it was the coffee. It was not. I was confused at this point, but not really able to comprehend it. I went to the restroom and sat in an empty stool for about 15 minutes until my vision came back, but as I walked back to my desk I started getting a little nauseous and shaky, so I decided to go to my boss's office and ask for a break. I remember I was sort of holding myself, and words weren't coming to me easily, which he definitely picked up on, and asked me to sit in his office while he grabbed ours. I called my mom while he was out of the office, after opening and closing my contacts several times and forgetting what I was doing. Thankfully she works close by, and asked her to pick me up because I might be heading for a migraine. Note: I had never had a migraine, but the symptoms are eerily similar, and I knew this from friends who did. When she picked me up we almost drove home, but I was getting very nauseous and wasn't really verbal, so we stopped at the hospital by my house. They 100% figured it was a migraine, just as I did, and gave me a migraine cocktail, but not before doing a quart with dye, just to rule out anything else. Thankfully, one of the attendants came in telling me I was about to be discharged, and he was grabbing my paperwork when another came in and asked if my shoulder was hurting. He then said I was being admitted and would be taken to the ICU and be there for at least a couple days because I had presented with a stroke event. Mind you, I was starting to feel better at this point. I probably left some things out, but feel free to ask questions if you have any. I really don't mind discussing it. Helps me process it too. When I'm feeling down and out, full of sorrow, full of doubt, full of cold and cast afar. When I'm troubled, there you are. When I'm drifting far away, all my skies are cold and grey, all the world's a fading star. When I'm falling, there you are. When I'm dreaming, I can see where you're waiting. There you'll be, salve enough to soothe a scar. When I need you, there you are. I text a friend and see if they want to have dinner. We plan something and cook it with a good drink, then another, repeat as necessary. Life feels pretty good after a few drinks and dinner with friends. Also, I get to try out a lot of new recipes. What are these friends you speak of? I learned in college the danger of having friends you also work with, so now I pretty much just don't have friends I can just invite over. Step 1. Dress in a manner that you find attractive. Step 2. Go to a chill bar if you drink, coffee shop if you don't. Step 3. Integrated. Purchase alcohol/coffee and just melt into the scene for a moment. Step 4. Find someone, preferably of the same sex at first, unless they're checking you out. This is to make sure that they don't get the wrong idea, who looks as lonely as you do. Step 5. Talk to them. If they are not really shitty, make a new friend. Step 6. Repeat this entire procedure until you have a stable of friends you can rely on. Congratulations. Edit. Best karaoke song for couples is Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Not responsible for you drowning in pussy. Additional step 2s. 1. My cat pretty much instinctively knows when I'm down. He gets very cuddly and won't leave my side if I'm upset. My fiance always says that he must be a loved one reincarnated. My name is Cat, and even though you cry sometime, I know you know that when you're glum and gloomy too, I'll hold you close. I'm there for you. My name is Sprog, and when I write poems only nice meal bright, because I know when PPL sad and see poem sad turns to glad. You're my comfort and my pleasure, you're the apple of my eye. You're as precious as a treasure and the sunbeam in the sky. You're the essence of emotion, you're a wholesome honeybee. You're the spirit of devotion, and you're wonderful to me. And it's you I'll hold above me, and it's you that I'll adore. And you might just say you like me, but I think I like you more. That despite the fact I suffer kidney failure and am on dialysis 3 days a week, I remind myself that I'm at least still alive and can still be with my family. Many other serious illnesses don't give that luxury. Would like to point out I'm from UK for those who have asked. Scotland to be more specific. I'm on dialysis too. I switched to peritoneal dialysis a couple years ago after having been on hemodialysis for a year. I cannot stress enough how much better my quality of life has become. I treat myself at home every night while I sleep. No more needles. No more sitting in a chair for 4 hours every other day. It's also much easier to travel. But most importantly, I feel better than I did on hemo. I always felt like a zombie after hemo. The dietary restrictions are also not as severe. I strongly recommend you speak to your nephrologist about PD. It's easy to do, and you will regain a lot of control of your life. You will not regret it. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I think about all the natural wonders, all the organisms, both beautiful and terrifying, that inhabit this earth with me. I think about the fact that no matter how bad things seem on our pale blue dot, the cosmos are massive, complex, and new stars are still being born in stellar nurseries all the time. I also like to think of my life from a historical context. Needed a root canal a few weeks ago and was pretty bummed about it till I remember that told to me dentistry was whiskey and some dude with a steady hammering hand. Hardcore History and other such shows are also excellent workout motivation. My ancestors used to have to be ready to throw down and scrap. This bike ride to the grocery store is a cakewalk comparatively, and it's good for me too. Beautiful and terrifying organisms. Had to read that twice. Orgasms are also nice. I've never had a terrifying orgasm, but I'm down.